We're living in a time where people really seem to be on the edge. They're right at that line of snapping. People are just losing it. Mostly because they're under a lot of pressure. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear of the future as well. So I want to take a moment and talk about a friend of mine. Many years ago, I went to Harlem to help open a charter school, and some of the best friends I've ever had in my life I made at that school. And one particular friend is a man named Mike Zone. And Mike Zone has dedicated his life to helping people find resilience during that time. So I did an interview with him. He's also written a book. I'm going to put those links below. I believe his book is free on Kindle. Definitely check it out. But I have a tremendous amount of respect for this man and what he has done, not just for me personally, because it's been really an honor having him as a friend. It's helped me a lot over the years. But also I believe he can help you all as well.
With my good friend Mike Zone, and just a little bit about Mike Zone. We've known each other for how long? How long have we known each other?
Since 2010. 12 years.
It has been a long time.
Yes,
and we opened a charter school together in East Harlem. That was an adventure.
It certainly was.
It was quite an adventure. And something that I'll say about Mike is, and I'm just going to share this with you, I'll share it with you all, is that he's one of the greatest friends I've ever had. He's a very kind person. And the thing I like about Mike is we're very much like-minded. I find when we talk about things that make us upset or things that make us happy, it's typically...
Same page.
We're on the same page. But also just in the way as a friend and just a person I know in the world, how much you've helped me through a lot of my struggles, because we all need that. We all need somebody in there that kind of just helps us navigate those tough things. And you've been great for that. And I probably have been the same for you to some degree. So
it's very reciprocal.
But we've talked about this specifically. So this video is really because I believe in Mike. I believe in what he does. He's helped me throughout the years, and I feel like we're in a world where people are just right there on that line, just barely hanging on. So if you don't mind, do you mind speaking to that kind of how,
Sure, absolutely. So as everyone knows, over the past few years with the pandemic and all the stuff that's going on in the world, know that the world's been through a lot the last few years.
Yes.
With the pandemic and the international situation and national situation. And it's caused a lot of anxiety and stress and pressure in people. New York, we already have a lot of anxiety and stress just being New Yorkers. And so I've noticed that people really are having a tough time navigating the world that we are living in. And what I do is I try and help people to look at things in a more reasonable, rational, objective way and not be overwhelmed and stressed and overburdened by all the things that are going on.
I think that where we're lacking is exactly what you said, reasonable, rational. People are not looking at life in a reasonable, rational way.
Right.
And they're barely hanging on. And I think people are scared. I think a lot of people are just panicking.
Yeah. There's many areas where that's happening. And if you check out my website at michaelzonelcsw.com, I work with issues relating to career, personal, relationships, internal depression, anxiety, those kinds of things.
Well, and even as a friend, like you've helped me with financial information, you've helped me with physical fitness type stuff. Like it's just been great being able to be your friend because you're really, we kind of talked about this yesterday. It's really more like a resilience coach.
Yes.
It's the idea of what you do is you help people have resilience in the world, because I think a lot of the things you shared with me over the years have been, once you said it, I thought, well, that, of course, like, why didn't I think of that? Like, they're very logical methods.
Yeah. Well, I think that most of what I do and a lot of the people that I work with, it's not that they have a mental health issue. It's just struggling with the challenges of life. And we all tend to engage in this negative self-talk. We are beating ourselves up worse than any enemy could beat us up. And most of those thoughts are distorted and exaggerated and really quite unfair with little to no evidence. And so, yes, I help people to develop a more optimistic and resilient outlook and way of dealing with the world.
Well, I think again, this is why I thought, because we've talked about over the years, having you on the channel, but I think just timely wise, this is such a timely thing. Because when I get messages from people through this channel, there's so much fear and brokenness in the world. A lot of people are really struggling. A lot of people are fearful of their finances. They're fearful of political things. They're fearful of the way the world's going. They're fearful of the way this country's going. They're fearful of the way the family unit is going. So I'm glad that we finally did this. I think it's very timely.
Yeah. And I will say this, that I think that your viewers have an advantage, because when they discuss what makes people happy, it is not the amount of money you have above a certain amount. It's not what you look like. It's not your age. The two biggest factors that determine happiness: family and religion. Family and religion determines a person's level of happiness.
I could see that. Yeah. I definitely see that, because I think that's really where this particular audience is that, family is important, because the channel God, Family, and Guns, it's literally those things. It's not a clever title. Those are important things.
Yes.
Those are important to people. It's important to us. And I think the world, when we're hanging on by a thread, it feels like you lose track of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so I think that your viewers really are starting at a fantastic foundation. And if any of them are struggling, or their loved ones, or their children, or friends, or family, and again, it's not a mental health issue. This is not about people that...
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
This is just about getting the optimism, getting the resilience, dealing with the adversities that we've dealt with, and certainly more are coming, and just to feel more confident and strong and successful.
Well, I can say, and again, I feel very confident putting you on this show, because you're the first person like this that I've ever had on the show, probably the last one that'll be on the show. But I believe in who you are because of the way you've been an example to me and the way you've helped me guide things. And I just, as I saw the comments over the last 2 years, I think it's great that you're here, because a lot of people just need a little bit of help. And I do want to encourage people to reach out to Mike if you need any sort of guidance, because I think especially as men, oftentimes we don't want to seek help because,
it's a stereotype of...
Yeah, but I could just say you've been a blessing to me, and the way you've helped me navigate my life, and especially those hard times in Harlem. You know that. Those were rough times.
For everyone, absolutely.
Yeah, for both of us. That was rough. And yet we having you, with me during those times of extremely violent, extremely chaotic, terrible leadership. It felt like at the job place there, the world literally was falling apart.
Well, and it's interesting that you said, because men are suffering from an epidemic of loneliness. Many men, especially young men, do not have positive role models. And that's why I was so thankful and grateful for your friendship, because I think it is important that people have someone that they can just talk to, that they can share their thoughts and feelings with and bounce ideas off of. And again, it's not about having some diagnosis. It's about people just getting through life and having someone that they feel that they can just talk to and connect with.
Absolutely. And this is what you do for a living, too. So it's not like you're just, hey, here's my friend, call my friend. No, this is what you do for a living, as you help people build resilience in their life. And
absolutely.
And I think it's great. I really do.
Great. Yeah. Well, thank you for the time to spend with you. I appreciate it. And with your viewers.
Absolutely. And again, reach out to Mike. What's the website? And I'll put it below. I'll put your link below as well.
It's michaelzonelcsw.com.
Awesome. Well, Mike, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for being my friend. Thanks for helping me navigate things. And I, if you guys need help, I'm just saying, if I was needing help, this is where I would go. So I just want to put that out there for everybody else. Thank you so much.
Thank you.